Hi, everyone. As always, the first question, can you hear me? I hope you can, for we have many things to talk about tonight, which is not always the case. A lot of the times we're just rambling and seeing wherever our whims take us, which we will still be doing. But there's also lots of just various news that's come out, particularly around just runs that are changing creative teams. There's been a lot of that this week. And people have written long, lengthy statements about that, which, of course, I want to share with you. Because if you're not hanging around on Substack, by the way, that's where everybody is writing. I can see that there's hair sticking out. That's where everybody is just writing novels about what they're doing and why. And it's very fascinating. There's lots of interesting things happening on there. And most of the time, when you get the articles, you just get the small little blurb or sentence. I'm like, no, I want the full experience, especially when it promises things like it's a 4-minute read, but it's a 4-minute read reading it quietly in your head. It'll be a longer read when we read it out loud. So, yes. How is everybody? What has everybody been reading this week? I saw some people talking in the chat about how they picked up a lot of things. What are people keeping up with? I'm keeping up with World's Finest, which is where they had that preview for Absolute Power that I posted some of the images from of a Superman getting shot, to which people very much were of the mindset of, again, or this seems like act of God or other things. Are people involved in / excited for the, I guess we can officially say that we're in summer events, which would be Blood Hunt and then Absolute Power for the big two, because there's just so many comics. There's so many comics to keep up with. Let me see what all of you are saying. Interesting things. Lots of interesting things that we were reading, lots of different things. Oh my goodness, Tim McCabe caught up with the Astro City Metro books. You're all caught up. So I also have the solicits. We'll see how we go. I have 3 drinks with me tonight of various things. We got juice, we got a mocha. It's not just straight coffee. We've got water. We have snacks even further off the side because the solicits last time, they just went on and on and on. And so this time I'm prepared if they end up going that long. Of course, this time they won't, because we have all of the extra stuff prepared for it. So I have the screens up and ready to share. So the first things I'm gonna go through are the some of the changes. I'm sure that there are more changeovers, but these were some of the bigger ones that got a bit of traction because they've been people who've been writing like the lines or certain characters for a while. See the mugs. Space Java wants to see the mug. It's not that exciting. Well, I mean, it's exciting to me, but it's oh my goodness, wasn't that dangerous and precarious about it was about to tip over. This is just my super mom mug that my kids got me, and I use it all the time and it brings me great joy. So Marvel's new font. See, I don't even have all the stuff, and I have more tabs than I normally have open, which is saying a lot for me. So yes, let's start with the mocha. Let's go. So, oh, my alerts are going off. We don't need that. It's because I have a memory card in here because I filmed earlier, hence all of this. It's a lot. But I like it. I kind of like this Cleopatra-esque wig with the Cthulhu dress. I feel like it's kind of a look. So I'm into it. So the first one that I have already pulled up and ready to go is that our first changeover, and who I put first in the title, is Catwoman and Harley Quinn. Tinny Howard is no longer going to be writing them. They are getting a new creative team. There have been some articles that were like, are they ending? I'm like, no, they're not. Even in the newsletter blog where she discusses it, it's quite clear that they're still going. And Frank Cho dropped a thing for a variant cover for issue 69, which people are not being very mature about. But I thought it would just be interesting to read through the statement. I found it interesting. I'm just in the mood to read things out loud. So why not? I have her Substack up, but first I need to also pull it up over here so I can see it for the reading. It promises to be a 4-minute read if you're reading it by yourself. Oh, also, yeah, get on that Substack if you want the sweet quotes, for there are so many. So I need to share it with you. You can't see. Dramatically? Doug says read it dramatically, please. Sure. You know that's my natural state. So this is Catwoman and Harley Quinn and Me, a breather much needed by Tinny Howard. Today. No, it's not today. Today's the 19th. My goodness. Rain, thank you very much, is asking, is this Catwoman Selena or the Asian woman now? We've had both, but right now we're doing the 9 lives thing with Selena. She's been dying a lot in the arc that we just went through. And Aiko can be interesting. It's just they haven't had the strongest Aiko plot lines so far. The news is out with DC's September solicitations. Oh yes, it is, and I have them pulled up too. That's a nice cover. That is cute, by David Nakayama. Dramatic. Both of my ongoing DC Comics series, Catwoman and Harley Quinn, are coming to an end in September, with Catwoman number 68 and Harley Quinn number 43. I couldn't be prouder. I'm in my head, I'm just thinking about Catwoman number 69, just the puns that people have been, nice automatically. People can't be mature about the number 69 on the internet. Firstly, I've known about this for a long time. It wasn't a surprise to me, so don't worry about that. If you've got your eyes on the comics rags, you might be seeing that a lot of incredible DC Comics series are coming to an end right before October, so we're in fine company. That's because they're starting the whole new line thing that the rumors have been swirling about for a while, and they've been teasing for a little bit. I've had the time to write exactly the endings I wanted for both of these characters. Selena's 9 Lives arc, where she dies all the time, has been the kind of story I've always wanted to tell in comics, and getting to do it to such great feedback has been the joy of a lifetime. We're ending it with a bang, with the surprise return of one of Catwoman's fiercest villains. Note, the solicit text spoils this, so if you don't want to be spoiled, don't go look it up. Also, that's good advice. We're going to be spoiled because we're probably going to get there and look at it. And another thing I wanted to check out before I did this, but I didn't get a chance to, was if Valmont has a wiki page yet. Remember the love interest, war criminal Valmont, that was introduced in this run? When I looked him up a few months later, he didn't have a wiki, which made me just chuckle because he'd appeared so many times. This made me laugh because characters like Ash, the love interest that wasn't for John Kent, had a wiki. I need to go and see, after all of this, if Valmont now has a wiki. I'm so proud of this book, and I think it's going to make a gorgeous conclusion to our dark, passionate, worldwide whirlwind of a story for Selena. That was a nice alliteration. Our girl Harles is finding her old self again in a new way with her villain outreach program in the pages of Harley Quinn. And we've got the culmination of that coming up with Robin, Mr. Freeze, the continuation of Maxie Zeus's origin story, and Harley's hyenas coming home to roost, metaphorically, that is. Do I have more stories to tell with them? Of course. And there's a home for those that I can't talk about yet, with one of the comics' favorite artists. We've only gotten to work together for a few pages in the past, so a whole new book together will be hot as hell. The next thing is also in a new format, which is maybe the most exciting part of this for me personally. For the first time since maybe 2018, I'm taking a step back from the monthly comics grind. Every month for the past 6 years, I've owed at a minimum 2 scripts to my publishers. That the sole exception to this, the few months during early COVID, where I wrote Excalibur and X of Swords, writing 1.5 scripts a month and reading/reviewing everyone else's. But honestly, I decreased my workload for that summer in advance, knowing that I had an event to pull off. But ever since then, the comics have been made. I haven't missed a month, and I'm so proud and more than a little burnt out. It's a different animal making comics on a monthly schedule. It's different from a graphic novel or even a miniseries where you get a little more time to plan. On the monthly grind, you have to keep several different options and pivots floating in your head at all times. You're adapting to events and other comics. You're adapting to the market's needs or artist changes. The book has to go out, even if it's not the best version you see in your head, because that's deadlines, baby. That's the gig. At some point, the heart finds itself missing the power that comes with writing stories that are less inherently limited by structure, schedules, and content limitations. Getting to step away and do something else is a luxury, one I worked really hard for, and you'll see the fruits of all of that soon. If you love my work on these characters, thank you. And don't be sad. My days with these sirens aren't over. In addition to the rest of these 2 runs, we've got the Harley backup story in Batman 151 and more to come. If you don't love my work on these characters, enjoy my absence on the main monthly titles. Sassy. I don't know what's coming next for these books, but I'm excited to see who takes over as a fan. I'll have more feelings on both of these girls as we get closer to the ends of their respective runs, but for now, I'm just happy to get that off my chest. I've known for months. I don't feel like that was dramatic enough. But I thought it was interesting. I love reading people's thoughts and opinions in their own world, like words from their own world in their own words. But it's fascinating. And of course, when you are in the back end, you know things beforehand. So it must be frustrating. People are like, I want it to end or I want to keep going. And you know that it's not going to or that it's ending. So that's very interesting to look at that. What are all of your thoughts on the creative change? Are you excited for a creative change? Are you looking forward to somebody different? Who is it that you're hoping for to take over at this point? Have you been keeping up with either of those books monthly? What is your relationship to Catwoman and Harley Quinn? Time of recording, I guess time of streaming. Stephen Turner, thank you very much. Ivy solo continuing and Catwoman keep going makes me happy. Ivy getting identity outside Harley but has been overdue. Of the sirens, Harley is my least fave. So happy for other 2. But I'll pretend to always love Harley when Gaga plays her. You're getting ready. You're winding up. It'll be interesting to see what happens. They can have strong runs. It just depends who's writing them and what they do with them, as with anybody else. But we shall see. I'm curious to see who the new creative teams will be and what they'll do with them. I hope that they keep Catwoman away from Batman for a bit. I feel like some of her strongest runs are when she is not embroiled with him. And Harley, I'm personally a little burnt out from Harley, but that is just me. And if the next run is fire, I'll instantly be back because I'm a Harley Quinn girl, and I'm not going to pretend that I'm not. So that wasn't too much longer than a 4-minute read. I mean, it was pretty smooth. Joshua Williamson's is much longer, but that's fine. He has a lot to say about getting off of the books that he is getting off of, because he too is getting off of some books, and there have been some dramatic, he's quitting, like he's kind of quitting, but it's just, I feel like quitting has a very negative connotation. You can quit for good reasons too. Leaving. And part of the reason he stated, which you'll see when I pull it up, is burnout. And I believe it. For a time, he was writing absolutely everything. But probably because that one's long, I'll pepper something else in the middle. Because they keep announcing things that are coming out, miniseries and all kinds of stuff. I swear we're going to be announcing up to Christmas very soon if they keep it up. That's right. That's good phrasing. Ben Chan stepping aside. Yes, there's good. That's a good turn of phrase. That's what we're looking for. Rain, thank you very much. I'm happy to see Punchline and Gotham Sirens coming. I'm happy to see Punchline. I'm curious to see how she's going to fit into these sirens and where they're going to position her, what Punchline we're going to get. And I hope, just based on the Punchline interpretation and her history that is laid out behind her, that she doesn't get softened or anti-heroined anytime soon. Let her live in the darkness that is the Punchline that they have given us, but have not fully explored as of yet. There's still time. It's only been a few years. Punchline's been around for a few years now. It doesn't To me, it doesn't feel like that long, but it has been a while, but there's still time. Nobody 700 says, I demand Punchline dox her foes. That would make her very topical indeed, would it not? It would. Oh, that's so funny. I love Punchline. Wait to pull this up. DJ Pega says Punchline, aka Harley from Temu. Not even from Wish, from Temu. That's so harsh. Oh, it's mean. Card Captor 17, thank you very much. I'm doing my fan fiction on the Star Sapphire with my Star Sapphire OC, and I'm looking for lore and more of the Lantern cores. I'm having fun. That's good. There's a lot of really fun Green Lantern lore out there to explore. I've fallen back down the rabbit hole of exploring. There are a couple of things I'm exploring with Green Lantern right now. The evolution of Batman and Hal's relationship for reasons, and also trying to explain in a way that is coherent the alternate universe coupling of Hal and Sinestro that really happened during Morrison's run. Because I'm like, I want to explain it and get a good title and thumb for it. The people must know it happened. It was a real thing. It was a real thing. You're so mean about Punchline, all of you. Oh, we have Harley at home. Oh my goodness. You'll all see once they write that definitive Punchline story. There is so much potential with Punchline. One day you'll all see. Oh my goodness. All of you. The sass. I'm pulling up a screen for you. That's what the silence is. I'm pulling up Plastic Man for us to look at. Here we go. Oh, and apparently this McDonald's ad, but Plastic Man did not want to load. It kept booting me off. I don't know why. It didn't want to share the body horror odyssey that they're planning on doing. It's a mini though, and it's happening with DC Black Label. So don't worry, this isn't going to be a mainline Plastic Man. I posted on the community tab about whether all of you were interested in this idea, and it was very, very mixed. Some of you were intrigued, and some of you felt that Plastic Man needs to have more humorous stories, and that's what you're looking for. So I'll ask all of you here. What are you hoping for with, like, would you rather there was a fun, well, I mean, this could be fun in a different way, but a funny, more light-hearted kind of Plastic Man story incoming? So this one is going to be by Christopher Cantwell, and the artist is Alex Linz. They claim it's a hard-boiled noir, which, you know, I'd be interested to see them pull some of the Golden Age characteristics from Plastic Man, even though he always had that heavy comedic element in his sidekick, Woozy. Wow. Shots fired. Opening line. Plastic Man has never been a Team DC character. Has never been, it should be, has never been an A Team DC character. There's a word missing. Like Batman or Superman, despite his elastic potential, he came close. There's love for Plastic Man. There's definitely Plastic Man love. This is a very dramatic article. But in the meantime, a new pair of creatives are doing the Lord's work. Man, the Lord's work. This is a lot. Anyway, they announced a new series, a 4-issue DC Black Label series, because now we have DC Black Label alongside Elseworlds, which is an interesting experience. It feels like we don't need both to me. What do you think? But the part of the pitch for DC Black Label was that it was going to be darker and edgier and grittier, so I suppose it makes sense that this is there. Card Captor 17, thank you very much. Punchline YouTuber apology video when ukulele died. She did an apology, but it was one of those more crafted apologies. The one you imagine starts with a deep breath. You know, the one where there's minimal makeup and you're sitting in a room with nothing behind you, and maybe, depending upon how hard we're going, there might be a pet, but you gotta look really downcast and go, even though you could have cut that out in editing. That it was that type of apology, because we were pre the ukulele apology at that point, which is I don't know if we'll ever see an apology that tops Toxic Gossip Train, but we shall see. So what is this about? What is this about? All right, so let's get some quotes from Cantwell about what he thinks about when he thinks about Plastic Man. I don't know about you, but when I think about Plastic Man, I immediately think of David Cronenberg. There is an element of body horror to his story that I have always found fascinating. And I also found myself wondering recently, how would Plastic Man actually die? What would that look like? Is he immortal? And then I thought of the long, really nasty way real plastics and petroleum products break down when and if they finally do. That's how I learned about depolymerization and the chemical process of unzipping from a particularly morose afternoon on the old internet, picturing what would happen to Eel if his entire cellular structure started to give way. So that's what that's what we're doing. I love David Cronenberg. Also, his son's works are solid too. But I'm not sure if that's what I would. I've never immediately paired those two things together. I can see how you would get there, though, if you're just thinking about it from an ability standpoint. But I can see also that being incredibly off-putting to some people, especially because Cronenberg in particular goes very, very hard. I don't know. I'm excited. I guess I'm one of the people who is intrigued by it. I'm intrigued. I'll be there, even though at the same time it would be nice to see a classic Plastic Man. I'm also intrigued by this. I'm part of the problem. Rain, thank you very much. Punchline be on the DC animated universe, please. I would love to. Come on, I would love to see that at some point. That's just because I'm here for Punchline in all forms. Let's see what all of you are saying about Plastic Man. Alice is saying you're Canadian. Of course, you love Cronenberg. It's not mandatory. I just happen to love him, and he is Canadian. I'm Canadian as well. It's just coincidence. Here's some of the art that they're doing with the melting and some of the pop art there. This is a variant cover by Tyler Boss. Cantwell says Plastic Man no more will grapple with Eel's past as a crook turned hero and find the member of the Justice League coming to terms with a profound fear of aging and what death for a boneless, stretchable super person even looks like. You know what that feels like to me? Do you remember when it was the Marvel comic with Deadpool at the end of the world and he had just slowly gone insane because of his healing factor and losing all the people, and it was just really sad and depressing? This is giving me that vibe. It sounds a bit sad. So quite catastrophically, Plastic Man suddenly finds himself desperate, asking, what now? How do I fix this? This being his very body, his very cells, as well as his connections to the people he loves. And just wait until you see how horrifically and hilariously Alex Linz and Jacob Edgar, supplying additional interior art, have rendered this referendum on our Vanguard ultra bendable former criminal turned hero guy. That was hard to say. That was incredibly hard to say. Whoop, Immortal Hulk for Plastic Man. One can only hope. I can see a lot of you aren't hoping for that. You're just like, no, thank you, no, please. Chemdog is saying it's not more depressing than Hulk the End. Oh, few things are more depressing than Hulk the End. Hulk is all there is. That was a very sad story. That's a very good story, though. Hulk the End is good, but it's definitely not a pick-me-up. Oh, come on now. Cronenberg, maple syrup, and other Canadian stereotypes. It's a coincidence, guys. We're not all in a club. So this is coming September 4th, which means we'll get to see the solicit as well, because they're doing that thing where they break out some of the ones they think are more individually interesting into their own articles. I mean, it worked for me. So I read it. And I shared it with all of you. Here's some art. Let's look at some art together. Let's look at some of the art inside. Common sense, thank you very much. Punchline has potential to explore parasocial relationships and people's reactions of crime. Sadly, Daniel Lore Punchline Night Terror ruins it. Bad comic. That comic had such then interesting potential to explore her relationship with online hate, but it got into a weird position of having her take the standard kind of talk back of don't listen to the haters. And it's just, she was not the right character to do that with, since she is very much the villain of the story, and it wasn't presented in a kind of ironic fashion. Some of the art in that one is very, very cool, though. Need more Punchline in my life. Matthew Prower, so did you see the Nintendo Direct? Did you get that thing I sent you? No, I did not. I need to catch up on my video game stuff. I have fallen behind. It's been a very, very busy week, but I'm excited. I have lots of things on my watch later list to catch up on. Why are you talking about toques? There's toques in the chat now. They're toques, not beanies. Therese 504, thank you very much. Classic PM equals tired body horror based. I was scrolling down this art for all of you. This is obviously the past, the classic before. And here he is, obviously in the present. He's melting a little bit. His body seems to be decomposed. Ew, does that mean people are drinking bits of Plastic Man? That's a bit disturbing. Ooh, and you could do something really gross if you wanted to, where then he has to call himself back together and people are like, whoa, bits of Plastic Man because he's in the water. They've been ingesting him the whole time. I'm ready. I'm ready for the sequel. Sign me up. I've got the ideas for gross Plastic Man. Rain, thank you very much. Punchline and Livewire podcast comic when? See, that sounds like something they should put on Webtoon and make all cute, and then later release hard so I can, in a hardbound, in like physical copy. That's the word I want, not release hard. Like the Wayne Family Adventures, so I can have it. Oh. Therese 504, thank you very much. Not gonna lie, you got me hooked on Punchline. Hashtag obsessed. Well, get excited for August then, because we're gonna be there week by week for Gotham City Sirens. Watch, she's only in like one panel. That would be so funny. We'll still be there week by week for it. Are there any more of these Plastic Man? Oh, there we go. Got some more on the floor. I like how these look. These are very reminiscent almost of a Darwin Cook type of style. You know, someone was asking me the other day if we should do a comparison between how Plastic Man and Joker have the same origin depending upon how you look at it, which is interesting to consider. It just takes one day. Card Captor, thank you very much. Wait, DC Wiki says that Bruce Wayne has siblings? It depends. It depends. What timeline and universe are we in? Thomas Wayne Jr. The art is pretty. The art is nice. I have to say the art is compelling me to want to pick it up. What about all of you? Are you intrigued? Is it still not for you? You're just not vibing with the body horror concept? If so, who is a character that you would want to do body horror with? Would you want to go for something more classic and traditional, like a Killer Croc? Would you want it to be a villain character, a hero character? Who do you think would do a good body horror kind of comic if that was your pitch? You went in there and just sat down and went, David Cronenberg. Then what character would you throw back? I'm seeing Metamorpho. You could do a lot with Metamorpho. And Metamorpho's comics tend to do that a little bit anyway. Clayface. Ooh, Clayface. Deadpool. Ben Grimm Thing. Oh, they've done that a little bit in some of those what ifs. Like, what if the Thing kept mutating? They did that one. That one was very sad. Animal Man. Ooh, Animal Man. They just need to do more with Animal Man in general. I like Animal Man. Mr. Fantastic. Ooh, the Maker. I would switch it. I'd flop it over to the Maker. Let's make it Evil Raid, even though you could just say that is also regular Raid. But Etrigan, the Demon. Gone, Gone, the Form of Man. Rise the Demon. Etrigan. Beast Boy. You could do some interesting things with Beast Boy. You could get some good pathos out of it, I think. Swamp Thing. I feel like they already do that with Jimmy Olsen. Jimmy Olsen got to have Mixie's powers in this last issue of World's Finest. And that was pretty fun. There were actually a lot of really fun references inside of this recent issue. Just enjoying that comic in general. That comic is a lot of fun. Metallo, Buana Beast. There's a name you don't hear very often. DC's Wave Rider. Yeah, you gotta specify when it comes to the Wave Rider who is riding the wave. So before we get into the big letter from Joshua Williamson, I guess we'll go to the other the other leaving that we have, because I don't think that one has dramatic quotes to be read. Oh, don't make me. I'm not paying for anything. You can't make me pay. You won't make me pay. It's one of those sites that's like, pay for me. I'm like, no, it's a 4-minute read. I'm not paying for that. Anyway, the thing that lots of people have been talking about, I'm going to go to my other source then, if it's going to be like that. Share screen. No, I'm not paying. I have multiple tabs. The amount of tabs is ridiculous. So Jason Todd is slowly dying as the effects of the Lazarus pit wear off. It's a rough time. Rough time to be Jason. Matthew Prower, thank you very much. Red Kryptonite in a Black Label comic. What kind of Red K? Are we going to go with Smallville Red K, where it just makes people aggressive, and what they kind of did with Supergirl, or in the comics like angry Supergirl, and we could play with some of elements like that, or are we going with classic Red K, where it could just do whatever they felt like at that moment in time? Because that could be pretty fun. I'm a big fan of classic Red K. Full Silver Age, we thinking? Get out of here with these ads. My hair will never look like that. You can't trick me. So this is the thing. Zeb Wells and John Romita Jr. Are off of Spider-Man at the end of this coming gang arc that they've been doing. And some people are quite excited about that, because this Spider-Man run, if you go online in certain corners and certain circles, is not the most loved run out there, to put it lightly. So a lot of people are excited to see that somebody else is going to be coming onto it. So there's a lot of changes coming up. So this is going to be the final showdown coming in September, because September is just, new school year. We're just going to change everything all up. I see Paul with ellipses. It's funny, how your phone, well, it's not funny. How your phones are always just listening to you all the time. And I was talking about going to be discussing this, and then my YouTube recommendations were recommending me a video about how Paul is the worst character. I'm like, stop eavesdropping on me, phone. I need to start leaving it in other rooms. I can see a lot of you being like, it's over. So this is the final showdown between Spider-Man and Tombstone. The story has been building since Zeb Wells took over the series, with Tombstone playing a significant role at the start and during the Gang War event. The teaser hints that this will be Spider-Man's most brutal battle ever. Plus, we get another iconic Spider-Man cover in Lorraine by John Romita Jr. I don't know how to feel about that sentence. Iconic rain covers. Do you feel it's iconic? Who's Paul? Oh, Tyler, get ready for all the people in the chat to tell you about Paul. They're all going to tell you about Paul. Paul is this love interest character that they introduced, who has been with Mary Jane for a while, and it's just, he has not been the best received character. This is Tombstone's revenge, spanning multiple issues. Spidey's most brutal battle begins in Amazing Spider-Man number 58. Hitting stands in September. The visceral issue will kick off the climactic final arc of Zeb Wells and John Romita Jr.'s epic run. This is our iconic rain cover. Bask in it. They said that it was going to be iconic. There we go. Spider-Man in the rain, getting ready to have a new creative team at the end of this arc. They don't say who it is. I don't think we know who it is yet. But who would you be hoping for? I see all of you have all of these theories of like, is he Mephisto? Paul is Mephisto. Paul is pure evil. This is intense. Oh, nobody 700 says, I still hate Terry Long more than Paul, chat. Terry Long is quite the, yeah, I'd say Terry Long is worse than Paul. I would argue that for sure. Ooh, Common Sense is asking, who is worse, Paul from Amazing Spider-Man or Jay Nakamura from John Kent series? I think that depends on how you feel. I'm going to say Jay, because I think Jay had more potential to have a really interesting character arc that just didn't happen. And that makes Jay, to me personally, more frustrating. And so, Space Jarwood just says yes. I would say, so for me, I gotta go with Jay, although I think for a lot of people it would be Paul. Jay does have a personality. That is true, but I don't like it. Tyler Preston is asking, is there a third option? Bring on Ash. I'm ready for Ash. Let's bring back Ash and have him start that arc that they hinted at and that never happened at the end of Lazarus Planet. Justice for Ash. Ooh, Pied Piper is coming with the deep questions. What's worse, having a bad personality or having no personality? Bad personality. I think bad's worse than boring, but I don't know. Justice for boring people? There's nothing wrong with that. No person. It's going to be a debate. A debate in the comments. All right, let me take a sip of my various drinks and then figure out my juice separated. That makes me feel sad, and I've got to mix it. And then dive into the On Leaving Batman blog and decide if I'm going to read everything that Joshua Williamson wrote or just the salient details about exactly why he's leaving. I have to do a poll. You want a poll? What, of who's worse, Paul or Jay? That's going to be so confusing for anybody who joins the personality. We can do that because that's a question people who are joining the stream can answer. Start a poll. I don't use this feature enough. What is worse? Having no personality or a bad personality? Make sure everything is spelled right. There we go. We're going to go with bad or no. All right. Bad personality or no personality. Trying to put two T's like it's a kitty. No. Boom. Poll started using features that let's leave that poll up there for a little bit and see. There we go. That's cool. That's very cool. All right. All right. We're ready for On Leaving Batman. We are ready. I am subscribed actually, but I'm not logged in. So there we go. Happy middle of June. This year is going too fast. All right. After a few busy weeks, we're back with some new big project updates. We'll do another newsletter this month, so this will be a shorter one. It's kind of shorter. And we might as well rip the Band-Aid off and get to what is in the header. Batman and Robin number 13 is my last issue of the series. I don't know why I read that. Like, I guess I'm still trying to be dramatic. I don't know how I read it so like, woo. I like this cover a lot. That's a really sweet cover. Green Arrow number 17 and Annual in October are my last issues of the series. It's too early to show the Green Arrow covers for October as they are spoilers. But both series will go on. I know who the creative teams are next, and they are very exciting. I have total faith they are going to tell not getting to monetize stories with these books. DC picked some really talented creators to carry the torch. I love these books and I'm proud of the work we did on them. I got to write 2 dream comics these last 2 years. I wanted to write these since I got started at DC Comics, and it was nuts to finally work on these characters. I'm thankful for that time, but also how the fans respond to the series. So, and that was cool for Green Arrow because it started off as a 6 and then it got to go to a 12. So that was pretty fun, especially for people who are fans of the character, which he clearly was. So I'll miss writing Damian, one of my fave characters the last 20 years that I've always felt a bit protected of. That should be protective. He's so much more than the brat people sometimes see him as. I hit brat so hard. I wanted to show the different sides of Damian, but also showcase that as much as he's the amazing fighter/assassin and one of the smartest characters in comics, he's still a kid. It started with the Robin series that I wish I could have spent more time on, that series, its cast, and with the Lazarus Tournament. That was a fun series. Lazarus Tournament was a good time, I have to say. But I got to pick Damian back up in Gotham with his dad and tell some fun father and son adventures. Bruce and Damian have had a hard time the last few years, so I wanted to take it easy on them with some fun stories. Working with Simone DeMeo, Mikhail Janin, Nicola, I'm not going to attempt that at the moment because I know I'm going to butcher it, and Howard Potter was awesome as they brought that theme to life. Right now, we're about to begin our Bane on Dinosaur Island arc, starting with Batman and Robin number 11, drawn and colored by the amazing Juan Ferreira. And there we go. Here's one of our nice Green Arrow covers from the dawn of DC. I'm going to miss writing Ollie and the Green Arrow family. My goal was to reunite the family while telling Green Arrow stories you don't normally see. To take a street-level character and throw them into a space and time adventure was a blast. I'm incredibly proud that Green Arrow went from a 6-issue miniseries to 12 issues to then an ongoing that will continue after my time. Sean is an amazing partner on the series. When we started working together, it felt like I had known him my whole life. We brought so much of his love of these characters to the page, and then to have Phil Hester step in on a few issues was remarkable. One of my favorite comic storytellers of all time and one of the best Green Arrow artists ever. Before we get to the end, we're about to dive into the Absolute Power crossover with Green Arrow number 13, featuring artists Amanke Nahuelpan, and then Sean returns to wrap up our story of the Green Arrow family. That annual is going to be epic. I'll talk about the stories and endings more when my last issues come out. I don't want to get too deep into it just yet, but I will talk about why I'm stepping away. Leaving both books was my choice, just to be clear. Leaving both books was my choice. It should be was. It was a hard one, no doubt. One that I lost some sleep over as I had stories left to tell with both books, but my gut told me it was time, and there were a bunch of reasons why I made the call, mostly coming down to these 3 things. We've got the reasons. Here come the reasons. Reduce my workload, which makes a lot of sense because, as mentioned earlier in the stream, he was writing so many things, so many books, so many events. I've been feeling some burnout for a bit now. I've been burning the candle at both ends for a few years, and it was very clear that I needed to take some time off and reduce my schedule drastically. I've been writing a lot of books the last few years, and as much as I loved every minute of it, I need to recharge and reset, spend more time with my young family, and adjust my priorities. I've talked about this a bit in the past newsletters and then in the videos with Sal on YouTube, that I oftentimes felt like I've been running a marathon, and I've learned how to be a better runner while on the move. But I've never taken the time to finish the marathon, rest, stretch, and run smarter. I'm often envious of directors or writers who finish a project and take time to just think about the next one. Think, Mark, think. This is often difficult in comics as we're a weekly business, but I knew I needed it. Also, the new arc of Superman after Absolute Power is a massive one. Lots of big moves happening there, and I recognized I needed to spend some time on it to really make it land in the way I want it to. New comic projects. This one is a much smaller point. I've been offered some new comic projects that were difficult to turn down. If you know, also, he's also writing in the Energon universe at the same time. So the man is writing everything. I knew that I needed the headspace to really think about them, give them the room to breathe and live in my head a bit before I start to put pen to paper. They are all projects I'm excited about, but I knew I couldn't just add them onto my already busy schedule. I need to clean my plate, take some time to think about the new work, and then get started. I've learned that I'm at my best when I'm not rushed. So that meant taking my time with these new ones, the typos in the Substack letter. News on these later. Finally, surprising opportunities. Because of my packed schedule, I've had to say no to a few projects in the past, but recently I've had opportunities in front of me that were different and interesting in surprising ways, different from what people would expect from me. It felt like the right time to work on them. I'm always looking and hoping for surprises in comics, and I find we often lack them. This last year, I realized that I was also looking for that in myself and my own work, that it was time to try something new. Now, again, this was my choice, and we'll talk more about the actual books and how they end later. I don't want to spoil the stories in the next couple of issues. We'll leave that to the solicits. I'll write a longer goodbye newsletter to these series and the people who worked on them as the issues come out. So there we go. That also actually wasn't too long. That wasn't bad. That wasn't bad at all. So what do we think about that? How do we feel about those rationales? See, it wasn't quitting. It was more like, it is more like stepping away. And it was a lot of books all the time, constantly. I don't know. I get it. I can see it personally. Maybe somebody came and made him an offer he couldn't refuse. They're having a lot of things going on, like, behind the scenes. How is this poll doing? Just see this poll. It's pretty close. It's pretty close, I have to say. I'll end it. I feel like it's had enough time. It was pretty close, though, with only, with a 53 for the no personality and 46 for bad, because we couldn't reach a consensus on the side as to what bad meant. So let's see what all of you are saying about this. Some of you are just saying, yeah, feels like burnout. You believe the burnout for sure. So those series are going to go on, though. So are you reading Green Arrow? Are you reading Batman and Robin? I saw somebody say, be nice to Ollie. I am being nice to Ollie. I think Ollie's book is a very nice tribute to people who are fans of him. And it's nice to see the family together. That last issue where they were all hanging out and Leanne got to hug Roy. And then somebody pointed out that there was an art continuity error, but it was still very sweet. It was still very sweet to see them together. Oh, and also that new girl was there. I should really do a follow-up on her. The one who admired Black Canary and decided that she too needed a fishnet costume with some rips in it. Snapu is saying, does bad equals bugs the hell out of you? No, I mean like bad. That's right, Red Canary. The name was eluding me at the moment. It's not that late. I'm like, who? What? No, I was like, it isn't Red Arrow. Red Canary. I need to do another catch up with her. There are just some people that I'm keeping an eye on. Also, some people were saying they felt that the Monarch of Menace gave them designer vibes. You know what's funny? In that video that I did on the Monarch of Menace, for the first half of it, I said the Monarch of Madness. And I had to retake all those lines. Thankfully, I realized it while I was filming, so I was able to just do it there. But I kept saying Monarch of Madness. I don't know. I just kept correcting it in my head. Do you think that that's a better name than Monarch of Menace? Which is better, Monarch of Menace or Monarch of Madness? You know, I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. That was a fun one to do. And I got to talk about one of my favorite Batman issues. Maybe I'll come back and do a whole video on that issue, which could be very fun. It's always fun to fall down the rabbit hole of obscure Batman villains. But some people were saying they'd like to see, if we're going to do more obscure villains, they'd like to see some people that aren't Batman. So if we were to look at more obscure villains, what hero would you want to look at? Who do you feel like we haven't really explored in terms of having obscure villains? Oh, and people kept coming up with this really fun theory that I really enjoyed, and I spent way too much time thinking about it and fleshing it out, which was the idea that because Monarch of Menace calls his son the Clown Prince of Fumblers, at one point. And so some of you started on this idea that that could be a secret origin for the Joker, that he was actually the monarch of Menace's son, and that's why he's the clown prince of crime. And I really liked it, especially now there's 3. Like, there's room. One of them can be the monarch of Menace's son. This is how we bring back the monarch of Menace. And he's just geriatric. And then the Joker shows up and he's like, "Are you proud, Daddy? Do you love me now, Dad?" And then Monarch of Menace is just, "No." We can keep it the same way. The city's burning to the ground. Joker gas everywhere. Monarch of Menace still not impressed. Just shakes his head. The clown prince of fumblers. It writes itself. It really does write itself. I was so tempted to do a video on it, like, ooh, fan theory that nobody asked for. I'm like, but no, like, legit, nobody asked for that. That's one of those things that needs to stay confined to something like this stream or our minds. Oh. Stephen Turner, thank you very much. Why do you think DC has more long-term female solos, Catwoman, Ivy, etc., than Marvel? Storm's such an iconic character. You would think she would have gotten an ongoing before 2024. DC has a very long history of strong female characters, actually. Like, even look as early back as Superman's girlfriend, Lois Lane, and there are tons of other, like, quiet little ongoing things that don't get talked about as much. And they're always trying to launch them. Like, they were trying to launch a Vixen one before the great DC implosion. There's a whole bunch of things. I'm not sure. I have always found that they have written female characters, at least historically, better. But especially if you look at when Marvel started in the 60s. But it is interesting. It's interesting. I'm interested to see how some of these new X series shape up. Will for Pride, thank you very much. I would love a video about Penguin for how famous he is. There are very little videos on YouTube about him, and he's quite interesting. The Penguin is very interesting, as is the evolution of his character and how he's moved into that kind of suave gentleman gangster criminal, which is a very interesting turn when you see how Batman's criminals go from, gangster to supervillain. So to kind of have him come back that way is interesting. The Penguin does deserve attention. Alice, they kind of have an ongoing Vixen comic, but it's the webtoon. And the webtoon does have a bit of a different feeling vibe for her that I know not everybody is down for. But I think it's a pretty fun webtoon. Common Sense, thank you very much. Philo Zeiss should be in Cape Crusader TV show. His creator, Ed Brubaker, is head writer of Cape Crusader TV show. So why not bring back Philo Zeiss? I imagine it's because you don't just get to make those decisions unilaterally. You have to run it by people. You can't just run in and be like, Philo Zeiss, David Cronenberg. As much as I wish that's how pitches work, just bust in. We're doing this. This is what we're doing. Nobody can say anything. I think you have to reach a certain level of status before you can bust in and do that. It's true, Alice. The webtoon is not the same. That is true. Rain, thank you very much. Is Batcat over? If not, make it happen. Do you mean like make it be over or return to it? Which do you mean? I personally could use a break from Batcat in general. I don't mind a little bit of romance for either of them, but I wouldn't mind if they stayed away from each other for a bit, personally. Card Capture 17, thank you very much. I would like to see an exploration of Angela Roth. Well, there are many things that we have coming up that I'm very excited about. I'm working on, it should be done by tomorrow, a fun thing for X-Men that I'm excited about. Common Sense, thank you very much. Can Sideways and Red Canary start their own team? That comic was fun, where they teamed up. That was a very sweet little short story. I saw when I posted for Absolute Power and people started talking about what they're hoping for in the new Crises Universe relaunch, whatever it is that they're doing, that they wanted Sideways. And like, whenever Sideways comes up, there's always a big, strong Sideways appreciation that I personally appreciate. Rain is clarifying. They should break up. I miss Vicky Vale. I'll second that with they should break up. I miss Silver St. Cloud. That's who I want. Bring on Silver St. Cloud, because they never finished that widening gyre thing. That doesn't count. She wasn't snicked or whatever happened there. We can bring her back. We have the technology. Oh, Julie Madison. Julie Madison's come back a few times, but I kind of miss like the Golden Age style Julie Madison. I'm like, I could go for some Julie Madison. Sounds like we're going out for dinner. I could go for some Julie Madison. Yeah, she just because she left him for Elmer Fudd, we're not going to count that. Those don't count either. Oh, I need to close all these ads again. I'm pulling up the solicits. I'm gearing myself up to read to all of you. Because I found the full DC Comics solicitations. We'll see how many of them. Oh my god, the first image. The first image, you guys. The first image. Okay. Let's Daniel. What are you saying, Daniel? I want more Batcat, but because we haven't had good Batcat in a long time, in my opinion, I think that's fair that you want some good Batcat. Because when Batcat's good, it's very fun and compelling. So I can see wanting some good Batcat. Oliver says, Elmer Fudd is Batman's Paul. Nah, people like Elmer Fudd. What is happening outside and why is it scary sounding? I don't appreciate it. I don't appreciate the fear, the stress. All right, I need to zoom it out a little bit, and then I'm going to pull it up so that we can look at it. Here we go. Right away, there it is. There's some Batcat right here on the cover for you. It is all the heat. It's hot. It was a decision to have bangs like this tonight because it is indeed quite hot. All of the variants are there. This is the one with the Nicholas Scott variant that we looked at with all the Batman. Bane is hanging out over here. Here's another Batcat hanging out over here. Here's another Batcat. Multiple Batcats. This is for Batman 152, which is written by Chip Zdarsky, art by Mike Hawthorne, and Adriano Di Benedetto. We have a backup by Kelly Thompson and Mattia de is that Ulis? I have something on my screen. Let me just yeah, I've entered full mom mode where I just, do the mom thing where you put things on your tongue. Oh, Joelle Jones is doing one of the variants. Yeah, that is her. All right. So what is it about? Let's get there. Past the ad for AC because it's hot. All right. Absolute Power tie-in. In thrilling Absolute Power tie-in. In a thrilling. Let's start off well, people. In a thrilling Absolute Power tie-in, Batman and Catwoman must find the key to Amanda Waller's plans in an extremely remote and shockingly dangerous location. Living, dying, up to their name, some of the Suicide Squad won't be coming back from their mission. But will Batman and Catwoman stay free to fight another day? Plus, a Birds of Prey backup finds the birds facing Waller's minions in an unexpected adventure. Rain, thank you very much. Punchline Livewire team up. Internet takes over. I think it could be fun. It's also giving me a DC Superhero Girls vibes, especially the way that they did Livewire on that show, which was really solid and a solid depiction of developing content brain. I think that was the best depiction of content brain that I've seen in media to date. Content brain, for those who are not familiar with that terminology, is where you can't stop looking at everything like content. You just look around, it's like, that could be content, that could be a video, that could be a thing. Content brain. This is the long Halloween stuff. So it looks like we might be getting some Batcat. Daniel's here. Daniel says, woohoo, Batcat. Also, I've noticed DC doing a lot of sequels. Gotham by Gaslight, Long Halloween, Dark Knights of Steel, etc. Dark Knights of Steel. That's something else. I think we have hit a new low. You're not ready for all the Electric Boogaloo number 2s? I've heard Gotham by Gaslight is solid. I still need to take a proper full look at it. We shall see. There is definitely a lot of cashing in on established names going on. Marvel's been doing that for a while too. Some of it's worked, like with the Ultimate stuff. So here are the alternate covers. They actually have a couple of ones here to look at. This is Batman The Long Halloween, The Last Halloween, number 1. This is written by Jeff Loeb and art by Eduardo Riso. The cover is by Tim Sale, one of them. It's going to be dedicated to him as well. In 1996, writer Jeff Loeb and artist Tim Sale teamed up for Batman The Long Halloween, an award-winning 13-chapter saga that spawned multiple sequels and stands as the most influential Batman story of its era. Discuss that in the comments. Now, Loeb returns to the world of The Long Halloween for its long-anticipated final act, Batman The Last Halloween, an all-new 10-part mystery continuing the story from 2021's The Long Halloween special. In each issue, Loeb will be joined by one of the top artists in comics in a beautiful and lovingly crafted tribute to Sale's art and legacy. In issue 1, Gotham City learns to fear Halloween once more. You would think they would fear it all the time, really. As a terrible event threatens to destroy Jim Gordon's life and puts Batman and Robin's teamwork to the test more than ever before in a city of liars, thieves, mass vigilantes, and criminals. Can anyone be trusted? Are you ready? I'm seeing what all of you are saying about it. You're saying accurate? You feel it's accurate? Common sense, thank you very much. You saw Peace Momoko's Ultimate X-Men number 7. You hype? I'm enjoying Ultimate X-Men in general. Hype's not the word I would use, but I do enjoy it. Dex Baker, thank you very much. Why do you think DC hasn't gotten behind Livewire the way they did with Harley? A lack of fandom? Harley really exploded. Like, just the way that the fandom took to Harley, it wasn't the same for Livewire. And I feel like Livewire's had a bit of a slower burn. But there's just there's something about Harley, that design, that voice, that presentation. And while Livewire, I think, is very, very cool, she also doesn't have that core connection to Superman the same way that Harley does to the Joker and to Batman. So I'm not sure if it has to do with that or not. But what are they doing out there? What are they doing? You hear it, right? It's like, is slasher movie noises happening out there? It's true that Harley also did have more appearances as well. And so she had a bit more of a build where you got that. You only had a couple of Livewire ones. And I would argue that the first 2 are much more solid than some of the later ones. Yeah, she's been enjoyable in Superman, the Superman that's going on. You hear nothing? Okay, there's scary stuff happening. I'm not just imagining it, okay? It's real. We also have, Batman The Long Halloween, The Last Halloween, number 0, written by Jeff Loeb, art by Tim Sale. This is a prelude to Batman The Long Halloween, The Last Halloween. You thought you knew the whole story of Batman The Long Halloween? You were wrong. Reprinting the final collaboration between legendary creators Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale, this special uncovers a deadly mystery that could destroy Batman, Commissioner Gordon, Two-Face, and, well, that would be telling, wouldn't it? Don't miss out on this special reprint of the prelude to The Last Halloween. Green Skull 3, thank you very much. Is Batman No Man's Land worth the money? I've heard mixed opinions on it. As someone who owns it, I'd say yes. I think it's very interesting. I definitely think it has its ups and downs, but on the whole, I think it's a really good event. I personally really liked it, and I think it has some very strong storylines in it. There's some great Huntress moments. Cassandra Cain, really shines in it. It's really interesting to see how the different villains divvy up the city. I think it's solid. I definitely think it's worth a read. But, it depends how much money are you going to have to spend on it too, and if it's something you're really interested in. I think that should be the best gauge. Like, do you think that it's something that you are going to enjoy? Daniel, thank you very much. While not a rule, I think then given some character terms hit better when first introduced in animation. I think it depends, because some animated characters don't make that jump, or they try to make that jump and they don't quite go as well. But then the thing is, the exceptions who really take off, like when you have a Harley Quinn or an X-23. I was gonna say or a Mercy, but I'm like, Mercy not so much, and Mercy is kind of already a revamp of a character that kind of already existed. Renee Montoya, things like that. I'm not imagining it, Alice. Don't say that. Ooh, I like this one. The red eyes are giving vampire. I know that's not what's going on, but I really like this one. Is that because he's so bloody that his eye's bleeding? I'm into this cover. This cover is cool. Here are our variants. Ooh, some nice ones there. Look at this nice Lady Brainiac one down here. Ooh, they're going all out for this one. So this is Absolute Power number 3. So get ready for some spoilers, because we're at number 3, written by Mark Waid and art and cover by Dan Mora. No wonder it looks great. We have all of the variants. We have raised UV variant cover. We've got power participation cover. We've got many things. We got 40 pages coming at you. Our heroes are on the run following the Trinity of Evil's devastating attack on the Fortress of Solitude. With Superman's headquarters in ruin and the superpowers on planet Earth in the clutches of Amanda Waller, Failsafe, and the Brainiac Queen, is this the end of the line? No way. The Resistance lives on. Using Fortress technology cobbled together by Mr. Terrific and Airwave, Earth's last hope has retreated to Themyscira, home to Wonder Woman and famously suspicious of outsiders. Can Superman, Batman, and the rest of the depowered heroes strike an alliance with these elite Amazonian fighters? Were they even allowed to put their feet on the island? All this and a mad mayday from Barry Allen as DC's War of Absolute Power rages on. So I see a bunch of you are going, Airwave. Yeah, that's right. Airwave. Get ready for Airwave. I'm ready for Airwave. This is a nice one too. Ooh, gotta decide. I think I like this one more. Where y'all feeling? What are we feeling for this? Oh, this is like a classic fan art pose. You see this so many times whenever a character is injured in any way. The dramatic heart clutch. I've seen so many Gail DeCarios fan arts with this exact pose. It's a classic. This is Absolute Power Super Sun, written by Sienna Grace and Nicole Maines, and we have art by John Timms and Travis Mercer. What's John up to? Jonathan Kent has suffered more than most at the hand of the Trinity of Evil, but the son of Superman will summon the will to fight back. In this special oversized edition of Absolute Power, we'll travel to the depths of despair as one of the most powerful beings on planet Earth must reckon with his own past to save his future, and the road to recovery will pave the way for a critical new chapter in the journey of the Super Son, breaking up with Jay. It's a clash of power, a tale of self-discovery, and the start of a new dream in Absolute Power Super Son. So here we are with John doing stuff. Got hope for a good story for John. Come on, John. I believe in you. Oh, this is Jamal Campbell. Right, I can see all that purple. I know that's Jamal Campbell. We're getting lots of fun Zatanna covers going on lately. I'm enjoying it. I almost did the sound again. Like when we saw the Zatanna cover that was all of her iterations through time, I went, I almost did it again. Oh. These are, I'm going to say they're going all out with these. They're nice. Superman number 18, written by Joshua Williamson. Art and cover by Jamal Campbell. Absolute Power tie-in. Waller has the powerless heroes of the DC universe on the ropes. Can the powerless Superman and Zatanna find the mystical map to the Dark Roads? Alvin outside doesn't think so. In time to get some major backup, Lex Luthor, Lois Lane, Mercy, Jimmy, and Silver Banshee are on the run from the superpowered Amazos, but find themselves pulled into a battle for the soul of Metropolis. Don't miss the shocking cliffhanger that impacts the future of the Superman titles. Yeah, I know. Alvin's outside, not giving it a chance. So did they ever do anything with John having electric? I mean, not really. A lot of things from Lazarus Reign didn't really do a lot. We got Wonder Woman. Hey, Booster! Booster Gold in the back. Looking awkward. What's Booster up to? Oh, jackets. On the Superman family, we wear jackets. I can't let him in, Samantha. He's so loud. I know he loves me. I love him. He is a wonderful kitty. That's a nice Cassie cover. Oh, this one's fun. Her and Damien. That's real cute. Oh, this is Gleb Melnikov. Alvin, you'll be too loud if I let you in. Wonder Woman number 13, written by Tom King, art by Tony S. Daniel. Absolute Power tie-in. Gamora found. Not that Gamora. Wonder Woman and Robin have finally located Amanda Waller's super jail holding the powerless heroes they once fought alongside. Can the new dynamic duo break them out before they become trapped themselves? An undercover ally may hold the key to everything. He's reaching under the door. Oh, I'll let him in. I will let him in. Come in. Come in. Come on in. The people want to see you. The people want to see you. They do. You came in just in time for Green Arrow. All right. Let's look at some Green Arrow stuff. Green Arrow number 16, written by Joshua Williamson. Art by Amanke Nwalpan. All right. Team Arrow is up against a wall, and it's not Amanda Waller. It's her agent of destruction, Bright. Who is Bright, and why does he hate Green Arrow and his family? Ollie must decide if he should save his family, even if it means they become locked up in Waller's super prison. I start automatically saying, of course he should save his family. We'll see. Come here, Alvin. Alvin, just come up. I know. Oh, Alvin. All right. What are we doing here? I thought that was Hal, but there was something odd about it. The way I don't know, it's the render. The render on this is interesting. Stephen Turner says how it sounds when Catwoman FaceTimes Batman. I don't think that Catwoman sounds this angry. Alvin always sounds angry, but this is his happy sound. He's happy to be inside. Is that one Kyle? Oh my goodness, a Kyle cover. All right. Green Lantern number 15, written by Jeremy Adams and Philip Kennedy Johnson. All right. Absolute Power tie-in. Hal has a problem. He needs to charge his ring, but the entrance to the power battery is a continent away. Plus, the skies over Earth are patrolled by Amanda Waller's modified Amazos, which leaves Hal with one choice: to ride into the danger zone. Right into the danger zone. Don't worry. He totally got permission to use the bat plane for this mission. Wink. Plus John Stewart's tail from Green Lantern War Journal. Okay, good. I was like, there might be another sentence. Spills out into the battlefield of a new struggle brewing on the horizon. Oh, the wing. Batman's not going to be pleased that he took his place. I see that Ken is saying, Hal has a problem. A problem? I know. He has many problems. Is that an Amanda Waller wants you style poster going on? Oh. Oh my goodness. Oh. Oh, Dante Cook, thank you very much. This is very generous. Hey, Stacey and Mr. Alvin. I just took a job that made me move to another country. Now I miss all my favorite live streams and my weeklies. Thankfully, you stream late enough that I can still catch you and stay informed. Keep up the great work, you rock. Oh, thank you so much. And I hope that your new job is going great. That's always really daunting, having to do a big, big move like that. I hope it goes well. I'm glad my weird stream time is working out. It's so late. Daniel, thank you very much. Great. Now I'm imagining Tom Cruise as Green Lantern. Oh, we're at the point now where someone could just deep fake that, make it happen with some AI. Hey, it's the Suicide Squad. Absolute Power Origins number 3, written by John Ridley, with art by Aletha Martinez and Norm Rapmond. Amanda Waller's journey. It's because it said Origins. Don't judge me. Amanda Waller's journey has brought her to hell and back, from the blood-soaked streets of Chicago to the over-the-top exploits of her very own Task Force X, aka the Suicide Squad. Now with the clock ticking on ultimate victory over the metahumans of planet Earth, the origin of DC's most methodical menace draws to a close. But what secrets lie within the terrifying alien mind of the Brainiac Queen? And will the wall survive the very seeds she herself has sown? All this and Rustam's revenge in the finale of Absolute Power Origins. Is that Animal Man? Oh my goodness. We were just discussing him, and here he is, injured on this nice cover. I like this cover a lot. We got one of the blueprints over here. Nubia over here. I like this, but it feels like this is a separate part from this. Like they look visually distinct from each other. Absolute Power Task Force 7, number 6. Written by Stephanie Williams. Art by Carrie Randolph. Amanda Waller comes for the Amazons after they assist the heroes in their battle, so I guess it worked out for survival. Will her weapon, with the powers of the beloved champion of the island of Themyscira, be able to unlock its secrets? Or will Queen Nubia and her sisters in arms send this robot straight to the underworld? There's a lot of things happening here. There's a lot of things going on in this cover. Is this another tie-in? Task Force 7. I like this one a bit more than the Amazon one. The little Chainsaw Man, Wolverine claws going on over here. Ooh, a horrible, like, melting Martian Manhunter. Well, this is where the body horror is at. We found it. There's our Cronenberg right here. I hope you like the Amazo designs, because if not, then a lot of these covers are not going to hit. This is Absolute Power Task Force 7, number 7, written by Dan Waters, art by Fran Galan. The Trinity of Evil achieved total domination over Earth's superpowered protectors. But what of the heroes not of this Earth? Just as Kal-El of Krypton before him, John Jones of Mars has felt the devastating effects of Waller's Task Force 7 fighters as they continue their mission of siphoning metahuman power across the globe. But hope glimmers even in the face of the ghastly global guardian, and a new generation of fighters from every corner of the world have joined forces to rise up. It's the finale of Task Force 7 as we near the grand finale. It's the finale of Task Force 7 as we're the grand finale of the epic Absolute Power events. Finale of the finale. And now we're free. Look, it's an Elseworld. It's an Elseworld now. Those two are very similar to each other. We have this one. And we have this one. It's like the AB. You get to pick your poison with Batman the Barbarian #1, written by Greg Smallwood, art and cover by Greg Smallwood. In a world where unspeakable beasts slither through silent temples and sorcerers pledge innocent lives as blood sacrifices to incomprehensible cosmic designs, only one man has the strength of will and brute force required to protect the people who would become prey, the fearsome blade-wielding Batman. But when the all-seeing oracle warns him of a looming shadow creeping across the land, he will have to contend with foes that cannot be dispatched by sword alone, including the terrible memory of the catastrophe in which he was made. And then Eisner-winning artist Greg Smallwood unleashes a brutal new vision of Bruce Wayne, whose parents are probably still dead, shot through with high fantasy hallmarks and awe-inspiring reimaginings of the classic Batman Rogues Gallery. Get ready for Barbarian Joker. I hope you're ready for Barbarian Joker and other things. Bi-monthly 40 pages. Is that a kiss from a rose on a grave? Over here on this cover. Oh no, I said that. Now the song is in my head. That's such a good song. Oliver gags as a guy threw a rock at his parents. Oh, that's making me laugh way too hard. The barbarian named Bruce. Bruce, Hunter from the future. Your reference. That one's... I like the strikingness of that one. Ooh. There's something about the forlornness of the face on this one that I like. What are we doing here? Hey, the question. This is Detective Comics 1089, written by RAMGOD with art by William March. It began with a melody, strange and haunting, drawing Batman deeper and deeper into a demonic odyssey. From the sewers under Gotham to a hallucinatory desert, from the brink of death to a strange rebirth, from the iron grip of order to the deadly blades of chaos. It has all led to this moment, and now the curtains close on RAMGOD's epic Gothic opera. So another run that is coming to an end, another creative team that is changing. We have that here. Why is her belly showing? Because she's rocking a crop top. It's crop. Look at that. She's got the nice, like, business crop top. Oh, it's not practical, but I like it. I always see those, like, crop top vest things, and I'm like, I would never wear that anywhere, but I want one. Nightwing, number 118, written by Tom Taylor, art and cover by Bruno Redondo. Is this also a last one? I think so. It is. This is another creative comic, another team that's coming to an end. There are a lot of endings, a lot of new things. I'm just laughing at all of you talking about her belly button. The belly button is the key to solving crimes. You see, you're so busy asking the question about the belly button that she can then swoop in and do a bunch of investigating. As for Nightwing, embark on an exhilarating journey through the streets of Bloodhaven as we bid a heartfelt farewell to the dynamic duo of Tom Taylor and Bruno Redondo in this epic conclusion to their award-winning run. With Nightwing's fear of heights overcome, he returns to Bloodhaven for one final face-off with Heartless and Tony Zuko. It's the battle you've all been waiting for literally years. And if we've learned anything from Nightwing these last couple of years, we know he never has to do it alone. In bed. I couldn't resist. I'm sorry. One thing's for certain, though. Bloodhaven will never be the same after this. Oh, I'm sorry. I resisted so hard, but I couldn't. I was good until I wasn't. Oh, I like this one. That's a really nice homage to Dick's first appearance on the cover. That one's nice, too. Nightwing Uncovered. Stop. Stop with these titles that lend themselves to inappropriate puns. Nightwing Uncovered, written by Ivan Cohen. Art by Dexter Soy, Jim Lee, Dan Moore, Jamal Campbell, Travis Moore, and others. Dick Grayson is front and center in a stunning collection of some of the most compelling cover art to grace his solo title over the years. He is the centerfold. My angel is the centerfold. That's what this is. This is an art book. Oh. Oh, this is the all red one, the Batman one. This one almost, it has a bit of an unfinished sketch quality to the back of some of the faces there. Woof. Stylized. I like it. Batman Dark Age number 6, written by Mark Russell, art and cover by Michael Allred. Ah, this is a Sienkiewicz one, huh? Cool. Gotham appears to be saved, but for how long? A face from Gotham's past emerges from the ashes, and the Anti-Monitor threatens to destroy everything. Bruce Wayne looks back across the years and wonders if it was all for nothing. That description gives me vibes when Michael Allred wrote a deconstruction Batman story back in Solo number 7, back in like 2005 or so. That story is really interesting. This looks like Batman and Robin, or is this Batman Urban Legends? Not Urban Legends. Batman Brave and the Bold replacing Urban Legends. Is that Calendar Man? Making it look like it's like the numbers are carved into his forehead instead of a tattoo. It's pretty dark. Yeah, this is Batman Brave and the Bold. Matthew Prower, thank you very much. Thoughts on Sir Canar, by the way, by the by. I'm collecting them. I am collecting my thoughts. Right now, I'm very focused on some X-Men things, and I'm actually getting more and more excited about Absolute Power and covering it a little bit. Some of the art's just been so gorgeous, and that makes it a lot easier to get into the headspace. So yes, but a lot of things incoming, as always. You know me, always a million things, or maybe you don't, but always a million things on the go and things I want to do. No, I don't think it's Zaz, Aaron, because Zaz would be more like the tally marks. This is Batman Brave and the Bold, number 17, written by Michael Conrad and Alex Segura. We have art by Miguel Mendonca and Christopher Mitten. Leap year only comes once every 4 years, and for most, an extra day on the calendar is a mild novelty. But for Calendar Man, it's a critical error in that which he holds most dear, the calendar. And now, Batman and the GCPD respond to a deadly hostage situation. But can they work together to stop Calendar Man before it's too late? And lastly, the question, with the help of a surprise guest star, unmasks the mysterious villain, Zero. Headhunter is going, nah, it's the penny plunderer. Coppers and pennies. My symbol shall be pennies. So this is our last Catwoman issue with Tinny Howard. This is one of the variants I grabbed for the background of my thumbnail. I think it's super cute and fun looking. This is Catwoman number 68, written by Tinny Howard. We have art by Carmine Di Giandomenico. And then we have, as the forces of the White Glove prepare to put Gotham City in a stranglehold, Selina finds herself in need of emergency medical treatment from the steady hands of none other than Hush. Will the feline fatale survive her procedure and live to protect her beloved precious city? Will she be reduced to fish food at the bottom of Gotham City Bay? She won't, because we have issue 69 coming with a Frank Cho variant. These are some birds of prey. Oh, this is a nice Cassandra cover. And this is the Black Canary Through the Ages cover. This is one of the ones I thought was really solid. This one's cute too, with all the different colors. Birds of Prey number 13, written by Kelly Thompson, art by Gavin Guidry. With the search for Barbara finally over, Cass leads the Birds of Prey through the portal one final time, and where they end up is a world far too familiar to Cass, but strange to everyone else. What here will turn everything on its head, or should we say who? That looks like it was written from the pun backwards, because otherwise it's a bit of an awkward sentence. This is Batman and Robin. This is the Simone DeMeo cover. Robin's face is freaking me out here. Dinosaurs, because we're on Dinosaur Island. All right, so we have Batman and Robin number 13, written by Joshua Williamson, with art by Juan Ferreira. There we go. Yeah, I think that it might be, this is Damian. This is Damian Robin Aaron. And yeah, I think that this is the spirit world, that they're tying it back into that. So Batman, Robin, and Bane must escape Dinosaur Island, but they are not alone. A dangerous presence has taken over and won't let anyone leave the island alive. Can the father and son dynamic duo return to Gotham, or will this be their last adventure together? Eclipso. I don't know what it says about me that I instantly am like, Eclipso? Total Eclipso the heart? That was one of my most painful moments. Was I was talking about Total Eclipse of the Heart, and it was an Eclipso issue, and I missed that it was low-hanging fruit. And I was like, I can't think of anything to say about this when Total Eclipse of the Heart was right there. Oh. Yeah, Alvin's chill. He's actually sleeping beside me right now. He just needed some extra attention and love. This is Batman and Superman, World's Finest, number 31. Written by Mark Waid, and we have art by Adrian Gutierrez because we have Dan Mora on the other Absolute Power stuff and other things. But you did a cover. Darkness falls because it's Eclipso. Eclipso, master of light and shadow, has risen to plague the world's finest team of Superman and Batman. I was going to say Batman and Superman. That's just always the way I put it. Powered like never before, Eclipso threatens to plunge the Earth into a state of eternal night and eternal despair. This is Harley Quinn. I do actually like how unhinged she looks on this cover, just the way they've done the eyes. She just looks very unstable, and I like that. This one's fun too. And then we have the Harley Through the Ages one that I thought was very cute. This is the cute one for if you don't want the scary eyes staring at you as, you know, she's going to come eat you in your sleep. Harley Quinn, number 43, written by Tinny Howard, art by Sweeney Boo. This is the last one by Tinny, as she mentioned. Oh, these are all written as if they are Harley. Gotta get ready. Brr, my buns are freezing off. With the threat of Gotham City being buried under 500 metric tons of ice, your old pal Harley Quinn, me, has no choice but to face down against both the Ice Cube lickingest bad dude to ever live, Mr. Freeze, and the devious Bat family hating Officer Pulaski. Can't the clown queen of crime catch a break? I thought we weren't associating with your day anymore. All I want to do is set things right before the citizens of Gotham are turned into icicles. Plus, I got one last dream to share with you before those jabronis start pumping my brain with coffee 24/7, and it's a juicy one. That's right, backed by popular demand, more Beefcake Barbarian Queen Harley by Alexis Quazzarano, and this time she's joined by the Felspire Chronicles' own Riccardo Federici. I'm just Beefcake Barbarian Queen Harley. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready for any of that. Clown Queen of Crime sounds like she's still dating Mr. J. Rain, thank you very much. Break Damien and Flatline, please. He feels weird in one. I need to see more Flatline to demonetize my videos with. All right, so get ready for Barbarian Queen Harley. Beefcake Barbarian Queen. More than just a regular barbarian. This is Poison Ivy. I do like this cover a lot with the idea that she's just consuming all the meat. I really like that. I'm into this. This should just be a poster. This says so much without needing any words at all. That's really cool. That's cool too. That's just pretty. Oh, that's just really pretty. Ooh, is this Brian Boland? I think it is. This is like Disturbed. I liked all of those. All right, this is Poison Ivy number 25, written by G. Willow Wilson, Grace Fellis, Gretchen Felker Martin, Joan Sturr, and Dan Waters. And then we have art by Marcio Takara, Brian Laval, Adigan, Ilhan, Hayting, and Danny. Oh, we have lots of people. Are we celebrating because we made it to 25 issues? Join G. Willow Wilson and Marcio Takara and a verdant grove of creators as they tell stories of Ivy's past, present, and future. Discover the sad and true story of two cousins who loved mushrooms a little too much, a man who played with fire, a very hungry crocodile, and an orphan who dresses up like a bat. Plus a sneak peek at what's to come in year 3 of Poison Ivy. All this and more in the special oversized extravaganza. I'm excited about that. This book, in my opinion, has just been solidly, quietly trucking along, and I think it's a really solid solicit. It sounds like fun. May Poison Ivy keep on keeping on. It's been a pretty fun book, in my opinion. I'm into it. I'm glad that it's just been quietly doing its thing. Multiverses? Is this a multiverses thing? We're doing a multiverses tie-in comic? It's Finn. Adventure time. Go on, tell your friends. This is Riley Rossmo. It is. Identified on site. Multiverses. Collision detected. Written by Brian Q. Miller. Art by John Samariva. There we go. Bruce Wayne, Diana Prince, and Clark Kent each wake in a cold sweat, troubled by strange dreams they've had about the rabbits, the Star Child, and the witch. Their investigation into these enigmatic visions brings them to unexpected locales and unusual characters, but none more unusual than the mysterious rabbit from their dreams as they find themselves face to face with the one and only Bugs Bunny. What the heck is going on here? And who in the name of the multiverse are the Star Child and the witch? The hit video game spills from your screen and into the DCU, and it's bringing a whole lot of friends from some of your favorite universes with it. So there we go. that is a thing. Are any of you playing multiverses? I am not. I know Amanda wants to play it with me. I'm not sure if I'll have the time, but it looks fun, I think. Action Comics. Lois looking like she's got Silver Age mischief in her heart on this cover, which I like. This is where the Supergirl cover is going. Cool. Oh, Alvin, do you disapprove of multiverses? Matthew Prower, thank you very much. Not gonna lie, Rossmo's Jerry gives me Tails gets trolled vibes. I think the cartoony style really works for that type of cover. Action Comics 1069, written by Gail Simone and Rainbow Rowell. Art by Edie Barrows, Danny Mickey, and Sian Torme. The challenges continue as Superman finds himself an unwilling gladiator, again, in a war of 1,000 worlds. That does sound very Silver Agey, though. Either he completes the challenges or we lose the cities of Paris, Chicago, and Kandor. Join us on a wild tale of adventure and intergalactic war. Plus, is there a way for Lois and Clark to keep working together without compromising their values and their relationship? It depends. It depends which era they are working with. Is that Trinity? Am I looking at Trinity? I am. I recognize Trinity by the top of her ponytail. What does that say about me? Who needs a Trinity catch-up? Because I've been keeping up with Trinity. I don't care for those glasses that they've given Trinity. Cute. Cute. Okay, that's really cute. That's also really cute. Bless you, Alvin. That's an homage one. Trinity Special, World's Finest, written by Tom King, art by Belen Ortega. It varies. Sometimes Trinity's written really fun, and sometimes she's not. It depends. The world's finest heroes of tomorrow are back for more. The daughter of Wonder Woman and the Super Sons return for more stories filled with laughs, action, and awe-inspiring adventure. Can Lizzie survive Darkseid and his terrifying math? Will an innocent trip to the past for homework change the future? You should talk to Booster Gold about that. Time travel, just say no. Are Damien and John's barks worse than their bite? They got turned into dogs? See, sometimes these are really fun. It's odd. Find out in this collection of the latest backup stories from the hit Wonder Woman series, because it's like Whiplash reading main Wonder Woman and the backups, and they're both written by King, so it's fascinating. You're having like a Robert Kanigher experience of just the difference and distance in writing styles. Common Sense, thank you very much. Where is Kara's Killer of Krypton costume? That one we were discussing it. We looked on the last stream where I was by myself on the at the costumes, and a lot of Supergirls weren't there. There were a couple of characters who were missing a significant amount of covers. I guess they had, of costumes. I guess they had to decide. Wonder Woman was another one who was missing a bunch. Outsiders? Yep, that looks like Outsiders, all right. Ah, Batwoman. Outsiders number 11, written by Jackson Lansing and Colin Kelly, art by Robert Carey. In the penultimate issue, so I guess they're finishing next month, our heroes enter the eye of the storm. The pages of reality have become torn and frayed, because this is all about meta stuff. But will they burn away? Luke, Kate, and Drummer must face the past, present, and future as an unexpected force threatens to erase them all. Is it canon? Is canon the scary force? We have Titans. Their smiles are weirding me out on this one, except for Cyborg. But Starfire, I feel like she's going to eat me. Hey, hi, May. Titans number 15, written by Tom Taylor, art by Lucas Mayer. A major death will shake the DCU. There is no stopping it. Dark destiny is coming, and countless worlds shake with fear. The dark-winged queen is rising, stronger than the Titans, stronger than Trigon and all his demonic children. Can the Titans save the world and their friend, or will they be forced to choose? Power Girl. Axel. Who's still hanging around. He just looks so, it's like, yay, I'm so glad I'm still in this comic on this cover. Oh, why does she look so sad on this cover? She looks like she's going to cry on this cover. Power Girl number 13, written by Leah Williams, art by Eduardo Pensica and Julio Ferreira. I was just having a moment. It's the same artist. It's been the same artist for most of it. Except for there was a brief one where Marguerite Sauvage took over, but she had done earlier stuff, so it still felt pretty consistent. Can Power Girl trust her suitor Axel? No. The answer is, I've been reading this, so the answer is no. Only one person can tell her that answer for sure. Her best friend, Omen, but when Omen's telepathy is threatened by a chance encounter with a new hero, Paige must focus on saving her from herself, along with the rest of Metropolis. People are saying, like, the Window. Yeah, the Window's been back for a while. We've had Window. Shazam, aka Captain Marvel. Billy with a beard. Bearded Billy. Oh, he's holding a game controller. Cute. Stephen Turner, thank you very much. DC Films could have their Dark Phoenix with Raven. You can do some awesome stuff with Raven. Raven's a great character. And they have done the Trigon arc a few times. I think they've done it justice a couple of times. Oh, Tawny. Look, there's Tawny. Shazam number 15, written by Josie Campbell, art by Emanuela Lupacino. Things go from bad to worse as the evil society behind the latest monster attack is finally revealed. With Philly literally crumbling beneath their feet, it's up to Billy and Mary to stop the city from sinking. But is the danger great enough for Billy to utter those magic words? And without powers, how in the world can Freddy help? Well, he might get the chance to change that, and his choice will send shockwaves through the Shazam family. I like the Captain Marvel stuff. It's fun. Is this the Flash? Yes, it is. We couldn't decide on the last stream how we felt about this Flash cover. So we get a second chance now to think about it. Aw. Cute. Save this cover for Valentine's Day. Is this a selfie cover or like a someone? No, okay, it's just got the titler and the stuff on the top. Like a photo cover, rather. The Flash, number 13, written by Simon Spurrier, art and cover by Ramon Perez. Barry Allen has been to the ends of the multiverse and back several times. Now he runs into a danger unlike any he's ever encountered, as the fate of not only the Speed Force, but all heroes hangs in the balance. Barry's life story flashes before his eyes as he begins his most important race ever. Robin, what we doing here? What are we doing here? From the vault, Death in the Family, Robin Lives, number 3. Written by Dan DeMatteis, art and cover by Rick Leonardi. We do the whole over 30 years ago, history was made when fans voted to kill the second Robin, Jason Todd. Now DC continues the alternate story, what would have happened if he had lived. Jason Todd has escaped from the Dev Institute and is on the hunt for revenge. When Robin finally finds the Joker, revenge transforms to tragedy and madness. Meanwhile, Batman's encounter with Mother Grimm and her army of lost children has the Dark Knight questioning both his past and his purpose. Is Gotham's savior or the city is he Gotham's savior or the city's worst nightmare? Rescuing Jason is the only way to find the answer, and Nightwing is there to help him. The ellipses, and Nightwing is there to help him. I remember when Jason first came back, and there was that arc where he was going insane, and he was even in Arkham and everything, and they had him back with the red hair, and they had reverted back to the idea that he was dyeing his hair and all of that stuff. And they were flirting with the idea of him becoming the new Joker. I didn't hate that. I don't know. How did everybody else feel about that? I never hated that. They brought it back up in the 3 Jokers. And I always thought it was an interesting idea, personally. Just if you were going to keep him on a villainous arc, there was just something, while a bit obvious, profoundly tragic about that. You know? I don't know. How do you all feel? Maybe you're like, boring. I can't stop making that noise. My daughter makes that noise, and now I make it in public, and it's terrible. Hey, Batgirl. Someone was saying an Elseworld story. I don't know. I'd like to see it. That's the thing, because if you're taking Jason as what they were using him as after he died is just this sadness for the Bat family and Bruce, that would just continue that while allowing him to be alive. So I don't know. That's just what I think about. Here's Nightwing. DC's I Know What You Did Last Crisis. Ooh, we're still referencing I Know What You Did Last Summer. Written by Dan Didio, Rex Ogle, Dave Wildgoss, Rachel Penales, Matthew Levine, and others. Art by ML Sanapo, Adam Grapp, Sid Cottian, and Will Robson. Oh, Jordi Tarragona, and others. In the blackest night and brightest day. No, they didn't say that. When the darkness feels infinite, the very fabric of the universe begins to tear. As every major crisis in DCU history rises once again, oh gosh, at the same time, these 8 chilling tales set during the events of crises past serve to warn you, dear reader, when in crisis, watch your back. In the fractured world of Flashpoint, Professor Pig is stalking Gotham City's nightclubs, sniffing out victims. During Blackest Night, Scarecrow lurks outside a movie theater recruiting new test subjects to perfect his fear toxin. Even heroes like Nightwing aren't safe when his death might just have the power to reverse the damage of infinite crisis. That could be cool. Maybe that's Dan Didio's, because Dan Didio wants to kill him. So it might be interesting to see what he was going to write with that. I'm actually kind of interested in that. All these, plus new stories from Crisis on Infinite Earths, Millennium, 0 Hour, The Final Night, and Final Crisis, are collected in DC's I Know What You Did Last Crisis, a deadly new horror anthology coming to haunt you this fall. Oh God, shut up and take my money. Ugh, that's not for everybody, but that's for me. Oh no. Oh no, that's for me. Oh, yeah, I don't know if I'd call all those crises per se. Common sense, thank you very much. It is frustrating that Wallace West, knows he didn't exist before Flashpoint. DC didn't do anything with that. Wasted story potential. You could do something with that. There's something pretty existentially dreadful about that for Wallace. I think you could have some interesting Wallace stories. Hand of Omega. Oh my goodness. Didio is like DC's It Follows. That movie freaked me out, but in an interesting way, in a way that when I watched it, I thought I was fine. But then afterwards, I was like, no, I'm not fine. I'm really not fine. It just left you with that feeling that something was following you, and that was not cool. It was very well done. I liked It Follows. Hey, Lobo, what up? Lobo, Cancellation Special #1, written by Kyle Starks, art by Kyle Hotz. Double Kyle. Feetles, is that Giz or is that the other word that might get me demonetized? Just when you thought it was safe to go back into outer space, the freakazoids at DC Comics ambush you with the scummiest comic book this side of Uranus. Then it's definitely the other pronunciation. Get ready for the most skull-crunching, crotch-punting, and excrement asteroid-filled comic of the year. You're going to be praying to God, GAWD, that we pulp this sleaze fest before your kids read it. You're saying it's giz like gizzards, but based on the other pronunciations in that sentence, I mean, I think it's supposed to be the J, but we'll see. This is the My Adventures with Superman tie-in. I really like Dan Didio's Metal Men. That was the last thing he was writing before he left. Why does Jimmy look evil on this cover? We don't have evil Jimmy here. Let's see. Common sense. Thank you very much. I don't like Bendis explains what happened to Bart Allen. Bendis should have stuck with Flashpoint, Kid Flash, Lost. Also, Connor should be Wallace's mentor. I like Wally as Wallace's mentor. I think they've done some really fun stuff with that. And I thought it was a nice way to reconcile the two, especially when there was that friction because of how Wallace came into being. So I always thought it was really nice to see the two of them together personally. I know it's DBZ, but just Jimmy. My Adventures with Superman #4, written by Josie Campbell, art by Pablo M. Collar. Things are heating up in Metropolis. Lois, Jimmy, and the Kents have hidden Amazo from the ruthless Task Force X and Team 7. But after a startling revelation, they realize it's not just Amazo in harm's way, but the entire city. So that's interesting. It also sounds like they're kind of tying everything together with it. I think it's pretty cool. Batman. 89. Echoes #5, written by Sam Hamm, with art and cover by Joe Quinones. All hell breaks loose at Arkham Asylum, but will Batman be able to get a handle on the chaos, or will his identity finally be uncovered? Mad Magazine #40 for some reason with no cover, written by the usual gang of idiots, covered by an idiot with a paintbrush. And then we're doing all of the political things over there in Spy versus Spy and satirical slams, and I don't know why it's just stuck in the middle here in between the Batman stuff. They love using this image for Batman Gotham by Gaslight, the Kryptonian Age. #3, written by Andy Diggle, art and cover by Leandro Fernandez. In its search for ancient relics, the League of Assassins encounters the new bearer of the Jade Ring of Zhongli, Alan Scott. Meanwhile, in Metropolis, passionate reporter Lois Lane sets out for Kansas to investigate the robber baron looking to buy the Daily Planet, Lex Luthor. Don't try and lure me in with these nice DC vampire. Look at her arms. Don't try and lure me in with Wonder Woman's arms. It's not the same if it's not Hal telling her that we're the same, you and I. You can't trick me. You can't win me back. Oh, that is pretty cool. That's a pretty nice one. I like these covers. You won't lure me back though. DC versus Vampires World War V #2, or will they? Written by Matthew Rosenberg, art and cover by Otto Schmidt. Wonder Woman's arms invite you in. The peace between vampires and heroes, Finn, is wearing thin. Lois Lane will try and negotiate a way to maintain a truce, but with Damian's relentless attacks on the Vampire Queen and her armies, the only thing that might be able to bring them together is a miracle? Mr. Miracle? Is this the sequel? Yeah, it is. This is the Dark Knights of Steel, All Winter #3. Written by Jay Kristoff and Tom Taylor. Art by Tirso and Riccardo Federici. The harsh winter journey takes a surprising turn when a familiar face from the kingdom of El crashes into Slade and his young yet powerful charge, Alec Holland. But will Prince Bruce reveal himself to be friend or foe in the pursuit to end the all winter? I'm sorry. What I'm laughing about is if you read a lot of fan fiction, royal AUs are a thing in the DC fandom, and Prince Bruce is just a very common thing. So that's just making me smile. That is very fanfic tropey right there. And the backup feature, written by Tom Taylor, mastermind behind the Dark Knights of Steel universe, and drawn by Riccardo Federici, soldiers turned deserters, Martha and Jonathan Kent, find a new calling, protecting the miraculous child they rescued from a brutal Atlantean attack on the surface world. But in a kingdom that hates and fears those with extraordinary powers, and a world that hates and fears them, how long will two mere mortals be able to keep the secrets of baby Arthur's origins? Common sense. Thank you very much. Superboy Man of Tomorrow. Now you get to understand why. Oh, I'm still hung up on Prince Bruce. Here's the Plastic Man one. Here's the Plastic Man one. With the stuff we looked at. We also have, this is Michael Allred, right? Yeah. And this one here. Plastic Man No More. You get the whole title on this one. Plastic Man No More, #1, written by Christopher Cantwell, art by Alex Linz and Jacob Edgar. We already know all the history behind it and the Cronenberg of it all, so let's do it. Eel O'Brien might be a superhero now, but before he was anything else, he was a crook. Until the accident that turned him into the pliable Plastic Man, Eel was bad to the bone. And just because he no longer has bones doesn't mean that's not still true. When an incident on a Justice League mission leads to catastrophic cellular damage, Plastic Man discovers he just might be out of time to make amends for the past he's tried hard to outrun, or to save the soul of his son, who, unfortunately for him, might have inherited more from dear old dad than just his superpowers. I'm gonna end up reading this. I already know it. I already know. I'm gonna be one of those people. I'm probably gonna read this. Black Label and all this stuff. I'm doing it. Facsimile edition. Crisis on Infinite Earths, #6. Which facsimile is this? A Challenge of the Man-Bat. Oh, that's fun. Detective Comics #400. The Nice House by the Sea, #3. Also without a cover. Sadness. Written by James Tynion IV. Come on. Adventures in Poor Taste. We know all the covers. Art and cover. We can't see it, but it's by Alvaro Martinez Bueno. Max expects just one thing from the exceptional people she gathered in the house by the sea: that they follow the rules. There aren't many. They're very reasonable. This should not be a challenge, but Oliver didn't follow the rules. And now Max knows. That's a really good horror solicit, I have to say. This is the Jenny Sparks, right? Yep. This is Jenny Sparks, so that means it's Tom King. Jenny Sparks #2, written by Tom King, art and cover by Jeff Spokes. The spirit of the 20th century returns for the 21st. Thinking her time in this world has finally ended, Jenny lays down to rest, only to be woken by the horrific events of September 11th, 2001. Humanity still needs her, especially 4 seemingly random strangers in a bar. Will Captain Adam spare them from his murderous wrath, or is Jenny in over her head? Oh, Captain Adam. It's going to be a time for you, Captain. Oh, Captain, my Captain. This is Robin by Jeannie Ba, right? Yep, it is. This is The Boy Wonder, #5, written by Jeannie Ba. The Robins have united to battle their way out of the stronghold of the demon's head. But Damien cutting his family ties to Ra's al Ghul isn't just a matter of punching his way through ninjas. Could this fairy tale possibly have a happy ending? Or is the story of Damian Wayne an inescapable tragedy? So this is a Black Label one that's kind of a retelling of Robin lore in a kind of dark fairy tale-esque setting. I read the first one. It was pretty cute. But it's the kind of thing where if you've read a lot of Robin, I'm not sure how much it's adding to it. Is this Constantine? I think it is. His hairline's intense. He's looking very Sting-like, which I know is one of the inspirations here on this cover. Yep, this is John Constantine, Dead in America, #9, written by Simon Spurrier, art by Aaron Campbell. I'm getting used to saying Simon now because they keep calling him that in all the solicits. But in my head, it's Spurrier. John has made it all the way out west to Los Angeles, where the line between what's real and not is paper thin. And that's before you unleash the power of dream sand. The long traveled road across America has led them here. But what sort of evil lurks behind the bright lights of Hollywood? Are we going to do some like noir stuff with Constantine? Could be fun. Oh, that's a nice one. I like that one a lot. Is it because Zatanna's on it? It's like, woo, it's Zatanna. Yep, and there's the cover that made me gasp aloud last time. Zatanna. Oh, that one's nice. This is nice. Zatanna looks great on this cover. Oh my goodness. Zatanna, Bring the House Down, number 4. Written by Mariko Tamaki, art and cover by Javier Rodriguez. After dealing with demons and casters and bunnies, oh my, all Zatanna really wants is a ticket out of her own life. And in the midst of a brewing war across seemingly every faction of magic, the sudden reappearance of her old flame, John Constantine, might just provide the disappearing act Zatanna so desperately craves. Primer. This is the primer one. Primer, Clashing Colors, number 3. Written by Jennifer Murrow and Thomas Krajewski. Art by Nicoletta Baldari. Deathstroke and Strack are free from prison and ready to take their revenge on the Teen Titans and on Primer. Can Ashley find a way to track them down, recapture the battery, and save the Titans, even as she reels from Ravager's betrayal and the loss of the Primer suit? We have Batman and Robin and Howard, Summer Breakdown. We're playing with the lettering on the cover. Number 5, written by Jeffrey Brown, art and cover by Jeffrey Brown. Convinced Talia al Ghul is helping Luthor Corp establish Recomplex Tech, Damian Wayne knows his mom is up to no good in Gotham, and he is certain the Hero Club are ninjas in her employ. Howard's not so sure, but one thing is certain. Lex Luthor is determined to recycle enough kryptonite to take down Superman. Can the kids learn to work together before Luthor's plan is complete? Maybe Metropolis's favorite reporter will bring just the help they need. These ones are for the kids, just like this one. We got our Scooby-Doo. Why is this person taking... Oh, I gotta decide which angle looks better on these photos they're taking. The Batman and Scooby-Doo Mysteries, number 9, written by Matthew Cody, art and cover by Dario Brizulla. Shaggy and Scooby-Doo are scared of pretty much everything, especially ghosts and flying. So when Kite Man rebrands as the Flying Phantom of Wayne Tower, his most inept ploy yet, Harsh, is terrifying to our scaredy cats when they all literally get blown away from Gotham's tallest building. Will they land safely, or have they had their final Scooby snags? We got our Looney Tunes. Looney Tunes number 280, written by Derek Fridolfs, pencils by Walter Carzon, inks by Horatio Ottolini. Ooh, we got two. We got an inker here. It is time to see which competitors will make the greatest splash as the summer Looney Games continue. Will Daffy take like a duck to water? Can Foghorn Leghorn perfect his chicken breaststroke? And which team will rise triumphant in the race of a lifetime? Is this the trades? Are we doing the trades? Matthew Prower says, kind of funny Looney Tunes comics lasted that long. They keep on going. They're just a staple, like the Scooby ones. And they're fun and solid for the kids. They're cute. This is the Batman First Night. Is this the collected trade altogether? The Batman First Night, even though we have covers for other things underneath it, but this is the one that we need. Ignore these dark steel stuff over here. Balls Monkey, thank you very much. Highly recommend the new Space Ghost comic. I've heard good things. I have heard good things about Space Ghost. All right, so yeah, this is the hardcover. The year is 1939. The place, Gotham City. A series of violent murders has begun, and the recent emergence of the mysterious vigilante known as the Batman has the power brokers of the city living in a fear of institutional collapse. So this is kind of a retelling of the golden age of Batman. It's pretty interesting. I think the first issue was the most solid one. It did have Julie Madison in it, so it was interesting. But to me, it kind of petered out as it went on. I was really keen on it at first, but not so much, me personally. But it might be up your alley. Wonder Woman, Origins and Omens. So, oh, this is like a little, is this like a little omnibus? Yeah, we got a little 584 pages here. Which is it collecting? It's, oh, okay, Origins and Omens. So you have that arc collected in here, if that's something that you are looking for. DC's Finest, Superman, the first superhero. Are we recollecting the Golden Age? This inaugural volume showcases Superman's origin tale in Action Comics #1 and his first self-titled series from 1939. The first superhero covers summer of 1938 to fall of 1940 and reprints classic stories from Action Comics 1 to 25. Well, that's cute. That's nice if you need Golden Age stuff. I have a bunch of this, but this is really cool if you're collecting Golden Age things. We're doing the same. Is this? Oh, this is year 1 and 2. Oh, year 1 and 2 together. People were talking about year 2 earlier in the chat. You can have them together just like you always wanted. Oh, for $40 and 592 pages, you can have year 1 and 2. You know you want it. Elseworlds Batman Volume 3. I don't have this one. This is the 2024 edition. I do not have this one. I need this one. For a second there, I thought that this was a chain that he had for all of them. That's just because I'm too used to the Batman Who Laughs covers. This is Elseworlds Justice League Volume 1. It's also, these are interesting if you just are interested in collecting the Elseworlds ones. Superman, House of Brainiac, already. Oh, wow. We've already collected House of Brainiac in September. Okay. Superman, The Exile and Other Stories Omnibus. It's Yuri Ordway, 2024 edition. Ooh, so a reprint. Cool, cool, cool. The late 1980s stories that set the stage for the epic death of Superman storyline are collected in the special hardcover omnibus edition leading up to it. So if you don't have that, but you have the death stuff, this is for you. The Golden Age of Wonder Woman Omnibus Volume 6. Written by Robert Kanigher. Art by Harry G. Peter. Who's this for? It's for me. Explore Princess Diana's wilder adventures fighting radical villains like the statues of Easter Island, aliens and flying saucers, the human tank, and more. As Robert Kanigher jettisons all of her classic villains and tries to figure out what to do with her. Oh, man. Which one is this one? Oh, we're redoing them as books. Green Lantern by Jeff Johns, book 3. So we're collecting them in smaller, softer trays. Gotcha. Book 4. Ah, Rage of the Red Lanterns, my daughter's favorite Green Lantern storyline. It sits behind me, actually, on the shelf right now. She regularly takes Rage of the Red Lanterns and reads through it. It has her favorite comic panel in it, which is Hal split between the red and blue rings. She just thinks that's like the coolest panel like ever. So I have a very strong fondness for Rage of the Red Lanterns. Wildcats Compendium 1. Ooh, I love a compendium because you get so much. And yes, it is a soft cover, but you get so much inside of it. And the price is much more reasonable. Absolute Green Lantern, Sinestro Corps War. For those who need absolute editions inside of their lives. Ben Chan says, Hal doesn't even know what Rage is. Does Hal know what anything is? Absolute Transmetropolitan, Volume 3, 2024 edition. Jason Aaron Scalped, Omnibus, Volume 1. Scooby-Doo's Greatest Adventures, 2024 edition. Oh, this could be cute. This could be a cute one to pick up for the kids. JSA Compendium, Volume 1. Ooh, look, you get 1,312 pages for $60 here. I have the hardbounds, but this is like, if I didn't have that, this would be very tempting. This is a really good run if you like the Golden Age stuff. This is very, very solid. All right, so this is the DC Universe Rebirth, Volume 2, the 2024 edition. They are reprinting a lot of stuff. Robin, Son of Batman by Patrick Gleason, the deluxe edition is here too. Oh my. Green Lantern / Green Arrow Hard Traveling Heroes Omnibus. I think I might need this because this has all of the stuff encompassing it, not just the more political themed chunk. This has all of the other stuff leading up and around, and even like the space stuff, because they broke up hard traveling and hard space in the soft bounds. Oh god, I'm gonna need to get that. I'll be there September. I'm making a note. Ooh, Batwoman Elegy 2024 edition. The art in these by J.H. Williams III was absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Batgirl, Stephanie Brown. Oh, they're reprinting this? Volume 1. That's awesome. This has been out of print for a while. The Stephanie Brown Batgirl series. I did a retrospective on it. I'm thinking about the arcs in it. That's why I'm like, retribution. It was a really fun and not oft talked about Batgirl run. I'm glad that they're reprinting this. I hope people get a chance to check this out. It's a lot of fun. Adventures of Superman John Kent, where they kind of did stuff with the electric powers. Birds of Prey, Murder and Mystery, 2024 edition. So we're reprinting some of the Birds of Prey stuff. That's also fun. And I think that's it. That's all that we have for the solicits. We made it through. Was it as long as the Marvel one, or did it feel as long? I don't know why the Marvel ones felt so long to me. I feel like that was equally as long, but that is all of them. That is all the things that are coming. Do we even remember everything that was on this? And what are you interested in? And did this make you intrigued by the absolute power things? Are you more interested in it? Less? What are you interested in? There were some really gorgeous covers. I need to remind myself what all of that, what all of everything was on here. Oh my goodness. It seems like there'll be some interesting things in September. I think the solicits that are going to be absolutely just pure madness are October, because that's where a lot of the lines are ending. A bunch of new stuff is coming in, like October, November. I'm way more excited for that the horror tales from Crises book than I feel like I should be. But I am. I'm the mark for that, and I'm interested. I'm interested in Plastic Man too. Horror Cronenberg Plastic Man. I'm that person as well. Poison Ivy, still keeping up with that because that's something I have been keeping up with. So the stuff I'm already reading, I'm still going to be reading. Eclipso, all of that stuff. Common Sense, thank you very much. Theory, what if Tom King's Trinity becomes the villain Trinity of Society of Sin? 3 lassos end up corrupting Trinity, becoming 3 mask and time travel. I think that would be interesting. And I think Trinity needs a little something right now to help her, stand out a bit more. Not to say that, in all honesty, some of the backups with her have been quite fun and present her in a better light than her first appearance, and the playing with the sibling elements there works better in those backups than it did in her first one, where they went so hard out the gate with it. If that first one had come after the backups in Wonder Woman, I think it would have landed better, personally. Doug, thank you very much. Didn't you have a birthday recently? Happy belated birthday. Thank you. It was my birthday. It was my birthday on Saturday. It was very low key and very, 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 very fun. I don't do much to celebrate my birthdays, and that's how I like it. But my husband made an insane cake with candied oranges on it and stuff. I made a vague comment about wanting a orange flavored cake, and he went challenge accepted and made this really intense cake that was really, really nice, and I really appreciated it. And then it was just a low key day with the kids, and I got to spend the evening doing what I wanted, which was actually reading some comics and working on some stuff because I'm a workaholic, but it was nice. Oh, Patrick, yours was yesterday. Happy birthday. Yeah, it's the Gemini squad. You know, it was fitting after working on the Zodiac Master. The twins didn't get as good a weapon as some of the other things in that issue. Was it a Nightwing cake? No. My goodness. I don't know if I've ever had a superhero themed cake. Have any of you had an extravagant themed superhero cake? I did. I've got a gift. I got one gift for myself that I'm excited about, which is I'm going to tell you because you're going to see it. Which is I'm getting a new tattoo, so that's going to be really exciting. I'm looking forward to that. I've been saving for it for quite a while, and I finally got to book it for my birthday. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Excited for what the new year has to in store. I don't know. Do any of you measure the years in different increments? Like there's the year, there's the school year, there's your birthday year. I don't know. I do that. It's like there are several several different starts to the year. Oh, that's the variant covers that we need. Birthday cakes. That was our idea. We'll put the stamp on it right now. If they ever do birthday cake variants, we'll be like, that was our idea. We were there. I'm like looking through the solicits. I'm back at that Animal Man cover, which was very cool and makes me want to read more Animal Man. Catch up with Green Lantern, all of that good stuff. Oh yeah, the fan art John Kent cover. I want the John Kent story to be good. I want good things for John Kent. Do any of you have characters you're just waiting, like John Kent, Punchline? There are some characters I'm just like, come on, where you're just wanting them to happen so much. Do any of you have characters like that, where you're just like, this character, please? I just want a really solid, good story. I really want it. I suppose now we've done DC, we'll have to do the Marvel ones as well. I saw someone was asking for Image in the indie ones. I'm not sure. Would you be interested in the more indie ones? I do keep up with a lot of indie comics. I'm finally going to have time to do the Redcoat review soon, so I'm very excited for that. DJ Pigo is saying anyone but Punchline, she's DC's Paul. That is not true, and we all know it. Let's see. I'll think about it. I do genuinely enjoy reading the solicits because I like knowing what's going on. As I've said before on stream, I'm the type of person who likes spoilers, so the spoiler part doesn't bother me. I was saying this to Amanda on stream last time we talked. We were talking about Magneto's revenge for being turned into a baby. That it just feels like you're forward in time. It's almost like you're time traveling. And so things feel like they're already done because you're already reading about stuff that's going to happen so many months in the future. So that creates a weird dynamic, but I still like it a lot. I got a lightly roasted in the comments for the video I did because I called it Revenge of Former Baby Magneto. And people were like, that's just a terrible descriptor. Oh, it is, but I think it's kind of funny, for we are all former babies. Dante Cook, thank you very much. How do you decide which hero to get a tattoo of? I've been trying for a while, and all I do is fall into a rabbit hole of indecision. Oh, I'm not getting a hero tattoo. I can't, because the hero I lean towards, I'm just like, I'm not going to do that. I know who I'd pick, and I hate that I'd pick him. So So that's why it's not happening. I even have a design in mind and everything. I'm just like, don't do it. Don't do it. That will be on you forever. So yeah. Why? Who do you think of? Like, or is it just you have too many that you want to do? Because I hone in on exactly who it would be. And it's just that the fact that that is where my mind goes, I'm like, oh God. Adrian Parchment, thank you very much. Thoughts on the Superman Rebirth and Chinese knockoff Superman series? They range. Are you talking about the Lana one? Like the one when Lana was Superwoman? I was going to do a retrospective on that, if that's the one you're talking about. I was thinking about that. Prince Bruce is not going to be a tattoo of Prince Bruce. I honestly don't remember the Chinese Superman series all that well. Not that well. That would be something I'd have to reread. Dante says, I have too many. I don't think it's a secret that there's something stuck on my lip. That's why I just did that. It wasn't like ooh, who am I thinking of? No, there's something stuck there and it's bothering me. It's Hal. I don't know what happened to me. I've gone on such a journey with Hal, and now I have a whole concept for it's like a surrealist breaking apart, transforming into Parallax, but also different colors from the different rings he's had thing going on. I don't know who I am anymore. My God. Stephen Turner, thank you very much. Did you see they said one of the Avengers are leaving the team as Storm joins? Who do you think it will be? Curious if it will be Thor because of power overlap. That's an interesting theory. They do have a bit of a similar power set, but then they could do a cool, like, we're charging each other up. I don't know why my mind instantly jumped to Tony. I was like, goodbye, Iron Man. I'm not honestly keeping up all that much with the Avengers on that side of things. I'm not as up. No, don't encourage me. Don't encourage me. That's right, Dex. Dex says, I will not stand for you being a house dad. That's right. Talk me down. Talk me down from that and other ideas. I really fell in love with the Green Lantern lore over the years. It's just a thing that happened. I am enjoying the Tony from Ultimates. The latest Ultimates that came out, I thought was really fun, even though they're like time travel. It was still fun. I'm really enjoying the Ultimate universe a lot more than I thought I would when they titled it that and then started an alternate universe, because it really isn't the same Ultimate universe, but I do get why they called it that. Still. Have we come almost up to a new dawn? We have. Yes, Wolf 22. I love that it didn't work. I liked that too. I like when we try and do different things with the time travel. All right. I think we've been at it for a little while. I know not by live stream terms. I know people are going for like 6 hours, but it is late. And thank you so much for coming and hanging out and going on this journey of all of this different news. I'm not sure if we've ever had this many things to concretely talk about in a stream, and we hit all of them. So yeah, it's a momentous stream. Thank you so much for coming, chilling. We will, of course, be back with more videos, more streams, more interviews, all of that good stuff. Oh, there was one thing I wanted to share with you. I can pull it up real quick just so that you know. There is a Kickstarter going right now for Darkwing Duck. I wanted to mention it because I saw it pop up on my feed, and I actually missed the Kickstarter for Farscape when they collected all those comics, and I loved those, and I'm so sad I missed it. And I don't want all of you to miss Darkwing Duck if Darkwing Duck is your thing. So just letting you know. I'm going to put it in the community tab too. Okay. Enjoy the rest of your day, night, whatever it is. Thank you so much. And we'll hang again very, very soon. Okay. Bye bye.